everybody, it's Jason Ellis. Remember the Jason Ellis Show? Yeah, I do. It's on Patreon, and it's like 5 shows a week, and we have guests, and YouTube can't stop us from saying stuff, and we say it, and you can text, and you can be a part of the show. We can synergize. Come with us. Sign up right now.
Remember when the Jason Ellis Show used to be live 5 days a week?
I remember
Wrong.
that.
It still is.
Oh,
This
yeah.
show that you are enjoying, this free pod, thank you for being here, but this is just a amuse-bouche. It's just a little morsel. It barely counts as an appetizer of what is waiting for you every stinking week at patreon.com/EllisMate.
I have no boss. We can do whatever we want.
Well, shall we?
We shall.
Okay. Ready, boys?
I'm going to sing, so don't worry about it.
Sing away. Your show.
3, 2.
My balls is totally moving, new and improving. Not now we get back up. I've got the heart and desire. My balls are on fire, ready to take us to the top. Welcome to the show. Did you know that your mom is All hail the King of the West! We still didn't. I need a fan. I need a Japanese fan. I was gonna say Asian, but that would be racist because they don't all have fans.
It's a pretty
Japanese invented it, Michael.
Did they?
I don't know.
It's a pretty fanny continent.
It is, but you know the one that goes fling and it flicks out and you go
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the geisha girls that have them,
Yes.
which I believe are Japanese.
Correct.
Right, so I know what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Welcome to the show, Brad Williams, who is obviously not a racist.
Yeah. If
but
you're wondering who that voice in the mist is.
yeah.
The voice in the mist sounds like the perfect way to describe a dwarf. Because that just sounds right. Who's the dwarf? Oh, he's the voice in the mist.
Oh, damn, man.
He's sometimes here, sometimes not. It's okay. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm glad that you have the rock and roll intro. That was awesome. I want whatever voice modulation is on that microphone because you sounded incredible.
No, that's just how good of a singer I am, Brad.
Damn right you are.
Hey.
And then I now feel less bad about breaking your lamp right before because it's obviously a rock and roll type of show. So but I do apologize for breaking your lamp.
You can't really see you right now, but you can see the broken lamp in the background.
Yep.
It kind of looks. It matches the vibe, you know?
You know what? I think if a dwarf breaks your lamp, you get 3 wishes. So I think this show just got a lot better, and your budget is about to increase.
Hell yeah.
So you're good. Made the people in the background laugh with that one. Yeah.
Like and subscribe. That'll do.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Go
We
to
can
my
use it.
Patreon. There you go.
Yeah.
That's my second wish.
Can this be like one of those rage rooms? Like what? Like why not? I gotta get some stuff out.
Can it not?
Okay. No, you've paid for stuff here. It's a great looking room, but I feel like with the kind of stuff that I've found in my in my nightly dive into Pornhub, I feel like if I started an OnlyFans where it was just me breaking stuff, people would subscribe. Somebody's got to have a fetish for dwarves smashing things.
Would they subscribe? Yes. The question is, would they masturbate to it?
Does the check clear? I don't care.
It's very important that they masturbate.
I mean, as long as they enjoy it, that's fine. You can't stop people from masturbating. I've found that out. There's Pornhub categories of women sitting on cakes. Who thought that would be a thing that some guy would be like, yeah, that's my stuff. Women on cakes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I went into your accent for a second there.
I sat on a cake once.
You sat on a cake once?
Yeah.
I masturbated.
Once?
It's one of the earlier episodes.
What
We were finding our lane.
was the sitting on cakes for your for your OnlyFans, for your Patreon, for
Nah,
the fans?
I think it was a promo for this show.
Okay.
And I had a wife. She had a nice butt, and she sat on it, and I was like, why don't I make a joke by putting my butt on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I don't know if it was that funny.
Hey,
Felt good though.
Whatever works. When my wife was pregnant, we were trying to sell her breast milk to bodybuilders because they're like they think that it's like more protein or something. I don't know if it's been proven, but you're just shaking your head like, nope. I looked into it.
I am familiar with that phenomenon, and I think anytime bodybuilders are the tip of the spear for a scientific breakthrough, it is guaranteed to be invalidated within 18 months.
Yeah, but we tried. We tried it, but we would just get guys reaching out, and we didn't like that they wanted us to go to their house. We were trying to like a more neutral handoff point of the breast milk. Like, all right, something public, bunch of people.
Yeah,
no. They're like, no, come up the driveway, lock the door behind you, and kiss your ass goodbye. And we're like, no, that's not going to work out.
Wow, what a creepy.
Yeah.
Like, I want your breast milk.
Yes.
That's already pretty gnarly.
Yes.
And then to be like, oh no, you have to deliver it. Like personally, like why do I have to?
It's like this is the good breast milk stuff.
Do they want you to squirt it out of the titty in front of them to know that it's titty milk?
I mean, they didn't say that, but I imagine at some point they would have thrown down a cup and say, "Fill it."
Yeah, I would think it's probably more like what you see the drug dealers on Miami Vice, where they want to take out the razor and cut the brick. Like they probably want to get a little bit from the source and match
there's probably some guy that's like, oh yeah, that's good. Rub it on the gums. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't like. I had to suck it out one time. I made a lady pregnant, and we were at the Supercross, and she forgot her pump, and she was like, it's really hurting. And I was friends with the guys at Kawasaki, so I used their trailer. And I sucked it out and was spitting it into the sink. And obviously I was drinking some of it because I was like, why not give it a taste?
Why not? It's good for the baby. Good for you.
Yeah. It was very metal. And as a metal guy, you think you'd be into it, but no. It didn't. I like sugary milk, I've decided.
Right.
After sucking on that. It was super metal. Like, it was like, I don't want to be gross because it's YouTube, but
it's probably...
It's similar to this other thing that girls do down there. That tastes metal as well. So they got a lot of metal coming out of them. Chicks are metal, which really, because chicks, the first chick ever was a chick, and Lucy, that's her name, and she made all the babies in the world, so she made metal.
Is this a religion that I'm unfamiliar with?
Lucy was a Australopithecus?
Sure. Yep. That's
like
what I was going to say.
The earliest
Took
known
the words out of my mouth, Michael.
Human ancestor.
Is this like a mummy that we've found?
No,
man.
it's like like missing link monkey person.
The first woman ever, not Eve. Sorry, was Lucy.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's like, how do they know that? Did they get Lucy's bones?
Yeah, they got the bones. You want to pull Lucy there on the screen, Miles?
You got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought, who would have thought that when you come onto a show or you're watching a show on YouTube and there's a guy with head tattoos next to a dwarf, next to a virgin, that there would be...
He's got 2 kids, nice try.
That there would be learning involved, that you'd be learning about the evolution of where we come from.
Yeah.
Human beings. 2 kids?
2 kids.
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
Good job.
Our next partner is Lucy. Lucy makes tobacco-free nicotine for people to focus better, think better, chill out smoother, and inspire creativity.
Use it to increase alertness, attention, and mood. Focus better, think deeper, inspire creativity, or just relax. The only problem with Lucy is that Jason just ran out of it.
He's right, actually. I use stuff, and I'm also completely sober guy now, so I really like my little pouchy things. And since I got a package from Lucy, I don't want to go back to any other. They are better. I really need one. If anyone has one, Lucy, send me some, please.
Lucy is unique because it is 100% pure tobacco-free nicotine. You'll never find tobacco in any of their products ever.
No lies. We're not lying. I'm not lying. I want more. Do they have T-shirts? Because I'm a huge supporter.
I don't know about T-shirts, but Lucy pouches are available in 5 strengths, 2 milligram, teensy weensy, all the way up to 12 milligram. Forte.
Wait, I didn't get 12. Send me 12s. Let's dance.
And in 12 different flavors.
Yeah, I had them all, and they're all good.
Coffee is my favorite one, though. I think it's tricking me. Like,
Yes.
I think because I'm getting alert from the nicotine, and the taste of coffee is making me think that I'm getting coffee in me as well. And I drink a lot of coffee, so it kind of goes well in your lip with coffee.
You know what goes great with coffee?
Lucy's?
Whether you use nicotine to focus better, get a boost in energy, or chill and relax, Lucy is made for your nicotine routine. If you want to try Lucy's tobacco-free breakers, pouches, or gum, go to lucy.co/Ellis and use promo code Ellis to get 20% off your first
Michael.
order.
That's like that's 20% off.
Yes, and even better,
Even better is Lucy offers free shipping and has 30-day refund policy. If you change your mind, that's lucy.co, not com, co, and use the code Ellis and get 20% off and always free shipping, mate.
and here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
What, do you got one? That's cute.
I got one. Yeah. Trust me, we're stopping. People are
Yeah.
like, "Wow, when you having the second kid?" And I'm like, "Nah, we're good."
Now, that's exactly what we were going to do too. And then we found out the brutal reality and we're like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And then he turned like 5. And we're like, that wasn't so bad.
You
That
forgot.
wasn't so bad.
You forgot how bad it was.
I'm
Yeah.
back in the shit again.
I feel like your brain with trauma, and this must be some sort of biological thing that our brain does to make sure that the human race survives, is that it erases like all the memories about how bad
No doubt.
the young child experience is, the baby infant experience is. For the women to have to go through all that pain, because I remember after my wife, like, right in the moment was like, this is the worst thing, don't ever let us do this again. And then a year and a half, 2 years later, she's like, I mean, I could do it again, possibly. And I'm like, no, you told me that you would say this.
Yes.
So I'm denying it right now.
It's similar to compound fractures. I've had a compound fracture, and it was such a shock because I was
Yeah.
only 16 the first time it happened, and it was
The first time.
it was,
that's a
it was shocking.
scary word.
I mean, I was in shock, and I was like, oh, I never want to experience that ever again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do my utmost to never do anything that could get me involved in a compound fracture. And then maybe like 2 years later, I was like, let the chips fall.
Here's Lucy, by the way.
All right. So that is what we all believe to be the first
Human.
human.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, right?
Well done.
Eh.
Yeah, see, we learn stuff on here. Now, see, you're going into...
That'll do, though. That's about it. Let's poopy fart joke on. Let's go.
All right, now
Yeah.
dick and fart jokes.
Yeah.
Let's go. You talk about the X Games type stuff. Before I started doing comedy, that's where I thought I had to go because of guys like Wee Man, Jason Acuna,
And Pancho. Pancho was first.
Pancho Moeller was first. That was my nickname in junior high because all the kids called me Pancho because his
Right.
videos were out
They
there.
were, it's not out yet, but they did Hawk, my other show with Tony Hawk versus Wolf.
Yeah.
And Pancho has said several stories where when Jackass came out and Wee Man became gigantic,
Yeah.
when he was skating, people would yell out Wee Man for many, many years.
Oh, one thing that almost every male little person will tell you is that we've been called Wee Man at
Right.
some point. We've been
Right.
called all of them. We've been called
Pancho-
Wee Man. We've been called Pancho. We've been
Pancho
called
told a
Dinklage.
story where he was at a restaurant for lunch with Wee Man,
Yeah.
and went up to get the food, and they were like, "Yeah, Wee Man," and he's like, "He's right there." Like, I get it if it was just one of us, but the actual guy is right there. Look at me, look at him. And
Compare and contrast.
So, kind of similarly to that story, one time I went to this restaurant that's out here in Santa Monica, a very famous little diner called the Apple Pan. And I went in there and I was going to meet my wife for lunch. And when I went in there, Wee Man happened to be in there. Now, he and I are friends, so that was no big deal. But also the odds are kind of like, like 2 of the top 5 dwarves in show business right here in the same little diner. Well, that's amazing. So then I come up with the idea of, hey, let's have a little fun. When my wife comes in here, you go up and be like, hey, Jasmine, oh, so good to see. And like you act like me. And he did. And my wife was very confused.
oh, great.
Wait,
because-
confused how?
because she had never met him before. She didn't think it was me.
Okay, right.
But
Not that confused.
no. Like he's got he's got tattoos.
Yeah.
He's about
I was
40
like, man,
pounds
I hate to
heavier
tell
than me. 15 years older. He's got more hair though. That guy.
Whatever.
But yes, my wife was surprised, let's
Right.
say, and people were very confused. But I had a good laugh about it.
I was reading some stuff about you this morning and
boy.
said something about not bad.
Oh, good.
Said that you were discovered by Joel and Benji Madden, or they helped you
What?
in some kind of way.
Okay, here's how.
How do they come into your life?
So my brand new special.
I'm good friends with those guys.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my brand new special, which is called Starfish, which is on Veeps, and that's their company. Their company is Veeps, and that comes out. I believe it'll already be out by the time this podcast comes out, but it will have come out on December 21st.
Yeah.
Why did we choose December 21st? Because that's the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year.
Gotcha.
So that is where my new comedy special is coming out. It's called Starfish. Go to Veeps, support the Maddens, support me, help feed an Asian dwarf baby. That's my child, and because you can probably put that on your taxes as a write-off, like you help.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, you help to feed an Asian dwarf baby. My wife
He
is
has two
Chinese.
full-size
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. Two full size. Oh, that's
Asian
unfortunate.
babies.
Half Asian.
Oh, half Asian babies.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
so are yours.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, half in more ways than one. They're double, half, quarter. I don't know. I'm bad with fractions. Math sucks. But yes, I actually went to the Veeps launch party and got to know the Maddens, and they're good dudes.
Yeah, they are.
They're good dudes,
helped
and
me
they
a
put on
lot.
a hell of a show.
Yep.
They sang a few songs.
Yeah, they're great.
They did the hits, and they sound perfect. It was like they told us it was their first show in like 15 years, and it was
They say
awesome.
that. They say that every day.
Yeah.
I figured.
And they're harmonizing. That's cheating.
Yeah, I know, right? Of course you harmonize. Try not to. Then I'll be impressed.
Right. Why'd you call it Starfish?
I call it Starfish because that is what I do because whenever my wife and I have a fight and she says, "You're sleeping on the couch tonight," I go full Starfish on the couch because it's not even a punishment. You put a dwarf on the couch, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that shit's still a king-size bed for me.
I knew
So
that.
I'm just hopping on Starfish.
Do you go for that? Getting sent to the couch? Because, I've been married for, I don't know how
You don't go, Michael.
Dude,
You say no, you go.
you can be as angry at me as you want. Like, you don't have to touch me, but there's plenty of room for us in this fucking bed. If you really can't stand the sight of me, the couch is right over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't mind it because the dog sleeps on the couch, and we have a 80-pound Pitbull, and that's just great. I just love snuggling up to that guy, so it's fine. So if she go to the couch, I'm like, sweet.
I used to send myself to the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Oh, she's annoying.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've exiled myself.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done it to where like she's like, go get on the couch. I've never done that, but it's like, yeah, every now and then I feel like it might be uncomfortable or there was just a fight or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? Or I'm coming home late from the Comedy Store,
Sure,
and it's 11 o'clock. I don't want to wake her up, midnight, whatever. I'm going to the couch. All good. But when I'm not on the couch, people. This is why I'm the most fearless man in comedy, because my wife is a fourth Dan black belt. She is a legit fighter, and the Pitbull is 85 pounds. I sleep in between both of them. So at any point,
Yeah.
Wait,
either of these things could decide Brad needs to go.
the dog's not in the middle?
No. Dog's on that side.
Is that normal for the dog to be in the middle?
Yeah, because my dog, only one of my dogs sleeps with me, and when I used to have another person in the bed, he's in the middle.
Before you slept exclusively with dogs?
Right.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
So sad.
How fresh is this?
I don't want to do it.
Oh, okay.
That's how fresh.
Okay. Because I don't know if this is like a 10-year-old thing or like a last week thing.
It's not. Anyway.
Okay.
Closer to the second one.
My three-legged dog won't sleep on the outside, and I always just put it down to, well, you're a Chihuahua with 3 legs. If you go off the side of the bed, that's a pretty hefty slam
That
for
is
you.
a big drop.
Yeah.
That
So I
is-
respect it. Like every now and then I've tried to put him over the other side back when I was married to get close, and I feel his fear of being on the other side
Well, that's
of
just
me.
because it's a Chihuahua. It shakes.
Nah, he's from the streets. I've got a lot of Chihuahuas, and those are they're jumpy people. But the one that I rescued that has 3 legs, they found him with his legs snapped. Oh, so he was out on the streets with somebody broke his leg, and it's set crooked, so it just hangs off him. His name's Chicken because it looks like he got a chicken wing hanging off the side of him. But he's the toughest. I have 5 dogs, and nobody messes with him.
No.
He just has if there's a food thing everyone's trying to eat, he's got like 1 tooth left. He's completely destroyed. But if he snaps, everybody backs off, and I'm like, it's because of the streets, man.
Yes.
All these other guys grew up with me, living the lavish life. You know what I mean? Like, whatever I want, I get.
Yeah.
And Chicky's like, I spent hard time, you know?
Yeah.
Like
You've seen the
shit
Taco
pops
Bell.
off.
You've seen the Taco Bell Chihuahua.
Yeah.
He's like the one he's the mascot for the taco stand that's just a folding table on the corner.
Yeah. And but I would look at it like with the dogs, it's the same way. It's like whenever you're in a fight and the little guy in the fight is like in the Kung Fu movies is just like not doing anything. You're just like, oh, that guy's going to fuck us all up.
He's gonna do something.
That guy's gonna do something crazy. So I'm wondering if that's how your dogs see the dog with like the one bad leg or the leg's gone.
No, it's just dangling off.
Oh yeah. I would look at that dog like that dog's seen some shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with that dog.
I didn't think they would see it, but they clearly do. Winter is here, and for me, that means struggling to find the right temperature when I sleep.
He sweats like a pig in bed. Take it from a guy who slept with him.
It was worth it.
I recently found a way to stay at the perfect temperature all night long using silver infused bed sheets. Now, really think about what I'm saying. These aren't just words here, folks. Silver. There are silver in these NASA-inspired, miracle-made sheets.
Using silver-infused fabric inspired by NASA, it's a good thing it's just sheets, Michael, because if it was a bullet and you shot me with it, I would die because I'm a werewolf.
That's true. These will do quite the opposite. They'll keep you very much alive.
But yeah, they handle the temperature better because when you're detoxing for 22 days, I don't want to get into it any further than that. But I wake up in pools of it. But not when I use the miracle ones because I got other ones because I wash them so much.
Yeah.
And they don't work as good.
If you were using dodgy sheets from anywhere else, you would be slathered in bacteria. But these sheets are infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresher 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors, Jason.
Miracle sheets are luxurious. I love luxury.
It's so luxurious.
And comfortable and without the high price tag so that you can pretend you're rich, which is pretty much what I've been doing for the last 2 years.
Miracle sheets are the perfect gift for your spouse, friends, or family who want better sleep and luxurious feelings in their bed sheets. And these come with 3 free towels, so you get 2 gifts in one just in time for the holidays.
Stop sleeping in bacteria!
Think about it, man.
I just want to say that.
Yes.
Sorry. Go to trymiracle.com/Ellis and try it today. Or gift it to someone special this holiday season.
And we got a special deal for our listeners.
We do?
Over 40%.
40%?
And
that's like almost half.
That's exactly right. And if you use our promo Ellis at checkout, you will get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%.
I can't even add all that up, Michael.
It's
It sounds like a fat discount, though.
Yep.
And why wouldn't you do that for your friends? Do you not love anybody? Do you love yourself? If you don't love yourself, then send it to somebody you care about. Maybe you hate them and you want to change their mind, change your own mind. Just buy them. Help out the show. And get silver in your sheets and pretend you're rich.
Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you aren't 100% satisfied, you get a free refund. Upgrade your sleep on Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Ellis and use code Ellis to claim your 3-piece towel set free and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Ellis. Treat yourself, a friend, a loved one this holiday season.
Yay. Because they are intimidated by him.
And now you have Chihuahuas.
Yeah.
I got a Pitbull.
Yeah.
I would argue that Chihuahuas, I don't know about yours, but I would argue that Chihuahuas are meaner than Pitbulls. Yeah.
Many people would agree, I think.
Yes. Because I've been bitten by multiple Chihuahuas. My pit has never once bit me.
Because you wouldn't be here.
True. Because if he ever decides to,
Yeah.
it's just, and that's curtains.
I mean, it's also maybe there's a little bit of they know deep down that when they do snap on you, they're never really doing any damage.
Yeah.
And a Pitbull knows if they go, this is going to be this could be detrimental to my future.
that guy feeds me and walks me. I can't kill him.
It just seems like a bigger deal. It's like
Yeah.
I don't punch little people. Like
Thank God.
I don't punch I don't punch people that don't know how to fight. You know, because that's mean. Mm-hmm. If you're big, I'll punch you. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's fair.
Yeah. What discipline are you the master in, or that you got your thing?
I don't have any belts or anything.
Oh, okay. But
I'm MMA,
okay.
so everything.
Yeah.
But I'm probably a better boxer than everything else.
Good. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah. My wife is fourth dan in Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
And then
Nice.
got a black belt in Hapkido as well because
Oh, dang.
because Taekwondo is a scoring martial art.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, it doesn't have a lot of practical application because it's a lot of kicks. So I had to get a black belt in something else so I could actually defend myself. And I was like, that's turns me on incredibly and also is terrifying.
Yeah.
Has she actually had like organized fights against people?
In the Taekwondo school, yeah.
Yeah. Have you witnessed them? Because my wife was training in boxing for a while, and I desperately, she's like, maybe I should have a fight, and I'm like, do it. That would be the hottest thing you could ever do.
I never witnessed her tournament style fights.
Yeah.
I got to witness her fight in the wild.
Even better.
Oh,
And
wow.
that was so great.
What were you doing?
Do tell.
We were in Las Vegas, which is where a lot of fights happen in the wild. We were at the MGM Grand. We're at a bar there that's called Whiskey Down. It's still there. It's a great bar. And there was a guy that came up to her and started flirting with her. And she was very gracious and said, "Yeah, oh, that's very nice, but at the time, this is my boyfriend," and pointing over towards me. And my wife is not a dwarf. She's tall. And the guy thought, "There's no way this guy is with you." And started
That's
saying,
insulting.
started saying as much.
Yeah.
And then I kind of told him like, "Hey, dude, just stop. Just move on. There's plenty of women in this bar. Go harass them." And then he said something very mean to me, and then said something very mean to her, and that's the last thing that he saw before he was knocked unconscious.
Nice.
Nice. What sort of death blow did she deliver?
Yeah, was it a foot?
Straight kick to the face.
Nice. What was
Straight-
she? I don't want to be creepy. What was she wearing?
a lovely black dress, and
Boom.
A dress.
and
Perfect.
My wife has great legs.
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
knocked him out. It was so good.
With all due respect to your idea, that's the only fans I want to see coming out of your household.
I would love. If some lady was just any. All right, any of you women out there wondering like how are you going to break through? How are you going to break through in the OnlyFans world? If you have a thing of you just knock dudes out,
Oh yeah.
done. I'm subscribed.
The little
Like,
black dress
subscribe.
assassin.
You don't have to. You don't have to get naked. You could stay clothed the entire time. Just knock dudes out. I'm in. Take my money.
Yeah.
Perhaps Brock Lesnar's daughter could consider starting an OnlyFans.
I didn't say that.
That's you.
You want to watch a woman who can knock dudes out?
I just don't
She
want to say.
can.
I just don't want to say anything weird about Brock Lesnar's daughter.
I think she's a wonderful, talented,
too.
talented person.
Me too.
And
I definitely wanted
congratulations to her for setting the shot put record.
That's what struck me
at
about her most of all.
Colorado State.
That's what. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Definitely
terrific
prefer
with the
if she
shot
keeps
put.
her clothes on too.
Yes, wonderful. And yeah.
I'm sorry, but okay, don't do it, Jason. Leave it alone.
You can tell the dominant genes in that family.
Well, man, that was Let's move on though.
She has a mom, right?
Let's move on.
Speaking of babies,
It's a bear.
do you see Ashanti and Nelly are having a baby?
Who?
Ashanti and Nelly are procreating.
Oh, wow, Ashanti stayed with Nelly.
No, they broke up for like 13 years.
Oh, and then they got back.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
It's a hip hop collaboration of love.
That's adorable.
Oh my God, it's the perfect late '90s, early aughts baby.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's fantastic. Now we just got to get Creed to like procreate with Avril Lavigne. And that's like the white version of that.
We had a shot when
Man.
Nickelback was with Avril.
So close.
Yeah.
God,
Wait,
white
did
people suck.
they were married? Did they have kids?
They were like the Brangelina of Canada.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you Canadian?
I am not. Thank
Oh.
goodness.
Why would he shoot down Canada with that?
I don't
if he was
know.
Canadian?
Maybe you were complimenting it. I'm not.
How is that
sure.
a compliment?
Not to me, but
Canada, like anybody, we got a lot of Canadian fans, and I
Yeah.
can tell you right now, every single person was like, "No, dude, that's not.
There's-
we don't praise that combination."
Yeah, there's certain people that you'll always claim in Canada because they're yours. I mean, you'll claim Jim Carrey, and you'll remind us that Pamela Anderson
Yep.
is Canadian. But then we'll talk about Bieber and Chad from Nickelback, and you're like, nope,
Yeah.
not ours.
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald, you'll claim.
That's amazing.
You'll talk Bret Hart all day.
He might be the greatest Canadian ever.
Bret Hart or Norm?
No, no McDonald.
Okay, because I'd take Bret.
You're a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
no, never.
What's your favorite era, or just all of them?
man.
That era?
Or
the new one?
So hard to say. Like, Attitude Era is pretty.
What's attitude?
That is like late 90s, early 2000s, like 97 to like 2003.
That's The Rock, Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Goldberg?
Yeah, he was over at WCW doing it. But now I'm really liking AEW. I really like All Elite Wrestling. Chris Jericho came to one of my shows. He's a fan now. He's a friend. And I do his cruise every year, which it's sort of like looked down upon.
Fozzy, right?
Fozzy. They kick ass.
Yeah.
They're great musicians. They do a great show.
Yeah, he's been on the show a few times.
Yeah, Chris Jericho does a cruise called the Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, where it's pro wrestling, heavy metal, and comedy. And come on, that's a damn cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that somebody is making something stick a little bit, sticking it to Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the first time he's had some heavy competition,
Sure.
but if anybody deserves to be taken down a notch, it has got to be Vince McMahon.
Yeah, and it just makes it better. Competition makes people do better. Like I want more dwarf comedians out there. Like right now, there's like Tanya Lee Davis, Nick Novicki, who opens for Nate Bargatze, and me,
And Pancho.
and Pancho just started
Yeah.
like in the last few years,
Yep.
and I'm really excited for him. But now it's very interesting because I used to like look to Pancho like, oh man, I want to be like him, and now he's talking to me like, oh, I need a little like help me out with this with this comedy thing, which is kind of a weird thing to like look at one of your heroes and be like, oh wow, I can help you.
That's
cool.
nice. That's
yeah,
great.
but it's great, and they're doing a great podcast. They do a podcast.
Yeah, that's what they came on Hulk vs. Wolf to talk about.
Yeah, I did an episode, and I'm pretty sure that's the first podcast ever that had 3 dwarves on one episode. And so yeah, that had to make some. Where was the Guinness people for that one? But yeah, that was a great time. And then there was like the producer in the room who's not a dwarf, and he felt kind of uncomfortable because he was like, I'm the odd man out. like there's 3 dwarves and me.
Yeah,
I feel
finally.
good about their show. They did really good on the Hulk vs. Wolf show.
They're great guys, man. Hey, dwarves are having a moment. There's dwarf comedians, dwarf actors. None in Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, but that's a whole nother thing I can rant about.
Can I ask you about that?
Fire away.
I am just the question.
Open up the door. Let's go. Let's take down Disney right here on this podcast.
So I think I kind of know which way your answer is leaning. There are people who will tell you Idris Elba shouldn't be James Bond. They should make a new character that is black. Bond just is a white guy. And I can see both sides of that argument. There are people who will say, if you're making Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, like it or not, they are dwarves. And then there's people, notably Peter Dinklage, who would speak out strongly against that.
Can I
What is
ask-
your take?
Yes.
I don't know much about it.
Sure.
Are the dwarfs that aren't dwarfs pretending to be dwarfs famous? I should have said that a better way.
That's okay.
Are they like legendary actors, or
No.
are they just actors?
So there's a whole thing with this. I will go through the process. Live action Snow White and the 7 Dwarves is announced. It's announced that it's coming out. Dinklage hears about it, says like, we're going to do this whole dwarf thing again. And then Disney goes, oh no, King Dwarf is angry. So they scrap the idea that they're dwarves, and they said, no, we're not doing Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. We're doing Snow White and the Seven Magical Beings. And they showed a photo of the magical beings. There was one dwarf in the magical beings, and the other 6 looked like people playing hacky sack in Portland. All right, they were like on a college campus, and they're like, yeah, free love, man. Like that's what they looked like.
They're not little.
No, they're not little at all.
But wait a minute. That's like making Snow White a man.
Yeah, it's like I don't get it.
That's one way of looking at it.
And to make the comparison, when you say like, oh, people don't want Idris Elba to be Black James Bond, just do a new character. The thing is, there's plenty of gigs for white guys, so they're fine. Like they can give one up. You can't take the 2 parts away from dwarves because they took away that. Like this podcast is literally employing more dwarves than Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Tully, I need to stop the show for a very important announcement.
Bring it, brother.
I have a new phone case from Nomad Goods. I love it. That's my announcement.
Well, that's something we both have in common because check out my phone case. I don't even have a new one. They said you need a new one. I was like, I don't need a new one. This one gets better and better with age, just like my face. We are excited that Nomad Goods is now a sponsor of the Jason Ellis Show once again, reunited, and it feels so good. Nomad started as a Kickstarter project in 2012 with the goal of building ultra rugged, minimalist tools for the 21st century nomad.
They make chargers. Look at this charger. It's sleek and sophisticated. And when women come over, they think that I'm rich.
Wow, you look very sophisticated. Can I sleep with you?
Yep. Did I mention that I'm a giant whore? A rich, sophisticated one.
From iPhone cases and Apple Watch straps to wireless chargers, ultra durable cables, so durable. Again, they said, you want more? I was like, I'm still using the first ones you sent us like 5 years ago. Even premium wallets and passport holders crafted with Horween leather.
I see. Oh, that's really how you say it.
Actually, yeah.
You have to check Nomad out if you get a new iPhone or Apple Watch this year for Christmas and stuff. Then you need to refresh your older device.
Nomad uses American leather for their cases and bands that just looks better the more you use it. Just like my phone right here. Take my word for it. Look at my phone. They offer convenient wireless charging solutions for the home, office, and bedroom with a suite of chargers for whatever mobile device you use, as well as Apple Watch and AirPods.
And Nomad is a climate neutral certified brand.
Let's talk about quality. One of the most important aspects to us, to Nomad, that is, when designing new products, is that they use the highest quality, longest lasting materials available, and Nomad prioritizes design and quality over everything else.
Check out Nomad at nomadgoods.com/Ellis to see what living the Nomad life is all about.
That's NOMADGOODS.com/Ellis. Be sure to use code Ellis to save 10% on your first order.
Nomad, go!
And that's
There's a lot of dwarves in movies. Why can't they hire them?
Yes and no. See, I've heard the criticism of Dinklage's criticism is what they call it ladder pulling. Is you got yourself into a position and then and obviously he's had a really amazing career going back to like the station agent where he's been able to define himself beyond that. But that's a way in for a lot of working actors.
Exactly. That's how we get work. And don't act like Dinklage had the purest career. By the way, I'm saying all this talking shit. Huge fan. Massive fan. Sure. Incredibly jealous.
Who isn't?
He's so good that if they made a movie and called it the Brad Williams story, it would probably be starring Peter Dinklage.
And yet he's not above criticism.
Yes, because he did a movie called Tiptoes, which is the most offensive movie to dwarves ever fucking made.
Wait, is he a giant in it?
No.
Then what is he?
Tiptoes is all right. I'm doing something that is I'm sorry to do this to your listeners. Right now, you should pause this podcast. You should go to YouTube, look up the trailer for Tiptoes and watch it, and then go, holy shit, because it looks like an SNL sketch.
I watched this movie for the first time about a month ago.
It is about a man played by Matthew McConaughey who is in a relationship with Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale, Matthew McConaughey, holy crap, great actors, must be a great movie. Just wait. They are in a relationship and they want to have a kid together, or she finds out that she's pregnant, and then now Matthew McConaughey is very worried because, surprise, Matthew McConaughey comes from a family of little people, mainly his brother that is coming to visit. His brother a dwarf played by the, of course, famous dwarf actor Gary Oldman.
What?
Gary,
Wait.
Oscar winner Gary Oldman is playing a dwarf. Now, you might say, well, they probably used CGI and shrunk him down. Nope. Put him on his knees. They tied his arms back.
Dude.
They tied his shoulders back. He looks like a rag doll. He does not look like, this is not a little person. This is not what a dwarf looks like. And by the way, well, you might say, well, they probably couldn't find any other dwarf actors. They could, because they hired about 30 of them for the movie. There's one scene in particular that is very funny because David Alan Grier is also in it, and he's banging Bridget the Midget, who's a dwarf porn star. And yeah, that's a fun scene.
I
Anyway,
hit on her once.
yeah, but
She wasn't into it.
yeah, so there's the photo. There's Gary Oldman. They cut out the back of the couch. Those aren't Gary's legs. Okay.
Oh my god.
That's what they did with an Academy Award winner, Gary Oldman. And if you watch the preview, the funniest part is the narrator going over the preview, and when they get to the Gary Oldman, the narrator goes, "And in the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman," and they show him trying to fake a dwarf. It's the worst. Dinklage is in it. His accent changes about 3 times during the movie. It like starts off Polish, goes to French. At some point, does like New Hampshire. It's very very strange. So he can't be like, well, I never did anything like being a dwarf in a Snow White movie. You were in something worse.
Yeah.
What about when that milkshake guy did that movie Toe, where all he could do was move his toe because he was mentally...
What was that one?
Daniel Day-Lewis, My Left Foot.
Oh,
Yeah.
That milkshake
Thank you,
guy.
Mike.
I was literally like going through like fast food spokespeople. Like did Jared from Subway
Right.
do a film?
Did the
Well,
Sonic
he probably
guys
did,
ever-
but you don't want to see that.
He's not... But
That was
he's
probably
not...
very illegal.
He's not... He can walk.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
But that
So
but
how's
that was
that?
done back in like now. You do a movie. I know Bryan Cranston did a movie.
Wait a minute. You're saying back then it's okay to do it?
Well, that's in general in public. I'm not saying it was ever okay
Because it's
or
like
whatever.
in the Bible it says it's cool to have slaves, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And now it's not
Times
cool
have
to
changed.
Right.
Now we've adjusted our yeah. The
But it's still-
Bible also
it's
said
still
I'm not going to
bad.
heaven. So
You?
yeah,
Little people don't.
It's
You guys-
somewhere in Leviticus.
Man, you guys effed up
Christian,
hard.
yeah.
With the,
Christians, your boy's fucked up.
yeah, real. That was.
By the way,
I mean,
is it heaven if there's no dwarves in there?
Thank you.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I know,
My
right?
head-
Hey, if Gary Oldman's not going to be there, I don't want to be there either.
Gary Oldman will not be there.
I want to be in the heaven that Tupac goes to.
Yeah.
Because remember he said heaven's got a ghetto.
Yeah.
Or he hopes it does.
Yeah.
I believe it does, and that's where I would like to go. Because I'm gonna start smoking weed again when I go
Yeah,
there.
I think it was a Jim Jeffries bit, but he said if heaven exists and whatever guidelines there are to get into heaven, those are the people you don't want to hang out with anyway.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, right. They're so lame.
Hey, with
Sorry.
Dinklage, that wasn't even the one I thought you were going to go to. What about in Elf?
Well, but see, in Elf, at least you could say he was in a position of power because he drop kicked the guy making fun of him, Will Ferrell. So
Yeah.
that's like, but like that's the one. So then to go back to our story, they panic because Dinklage says no dwarves, so they don't put in they put in one dwarf. Then they show the photo leaks online of the 7 dwarves. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? These are not our little people." So they go, "Hold on, all right, we'll fix it again." Then they go back and they make every dwarf in Snow White and 7 Dwarfs CGI, a CGI dwarf. So now they're not even hiring the dwarf actors in the first place. It's like, do I think that the role of Snow White and the 7 Dwarves and the story in general was slightly detrimental to little people and make some people look upon dwarves as like more of a fantastical fairy tale human being than an actual human being? Yeah, see, those are the Snow White and the 7 magical beings, which just looks like a theater troupe.
Yeah.
like
That looks like Jackass 5.5.
yeah, that's just Venice.
I think those guys played Coachella.
Yeah, that's just Venice. Anyway,
Tame Impala.
So yes,
So
I
stupid.
see that argument, but then there's not other parts for us out there. So you can't take away the only parts we got. And then don't even get me started on the new movie that comes out this week, freaking Wonka, because they took away the Oompa Loompas and they gave it to Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant is an Oompa Loompa. What? That's why I'm a comedian.
Wait. What's the beef with dwarves?
Apparently it's offensive to certain people when dwarves play dwarves.
How is that?
I don't know. I want to get paid.
Well, what about everybody that's an actor then?
That's the point. It's so insane. I remember going to an audition one time where the role was not written for a little person, and I went to the audition and I did the audition, and they said, "Wow, that was great, but just so you know, we're looking for a minority hire." And I was like, "Great, I'm here." like no one's ever. I've never walked down the street and had anyone ever yell, "Huh, white guy." No one's ever said that about me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Like I think there's a few other categories that it may fall into that aren't exactly the majority. But like, so that's how back-asswards Hollywood can be sometimes. I'm not considered a minority, but I'm also not allowed to play myself, because if I play myself, that's offensive.
Right. What Dinklage, I think, would say is that they should just not write more roles for dwarfs. They should cast dwarves are normal people. So in the same way that he gets to just play dudes.
Yeah, and that's what I would argue too.
But in
as
reality,
well. But there's the world that is, and the world that should be, and the world that should be is exactly what you just described. The world that is that we have to slowly make our way up and prove that we're actually decent actors, and that people aren't weirded out by us. So yes.
How much talking do you have
process.
in the dwarf in Snow White? Like how many? Like are you? They're not carrying it. It's like it's Snow White.
It's Snow White. That's
Right.
the story. It's Snow White.
Like
it's
Jason
love, it's
Statham,
all
I
that.
saw an interview with him the other day where he was like, "I've never had a lesson in acting at all. I can't act. I'm not an actor. Somebody picked me out the front of a club, and here I am."
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm very grateful, but I've never seen myself as a legitimate actor.
No, but he's flexible and he can kick.
When I watch movies with him in it, sure, maybe they're not stretching him as that much, but is he holding his own? Hell yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's great in all those movies. I'm a huge fan.
Jason Statham.
But I've never said, God, he's like Keanu Reeves. I've heard several people go, man, he's a terrible actor. And I think now maybe you would probably bite your lip on that because, but he's also found roles that suit the way he does things.
Yeah.
I don't think he's never been like a doctor. You know what I mean? Like he's never been like things that he doesn't relate to.
If you want to ever watch the greatest piece of acting ever by Keanu Reeves, there's a movie where he plays the Buddha.
No. Oh boy.
Yeah,
that's a stretch.
And it is awesome. It is truly there's one line in particular where he just kind of looks up and goes, "Father, what is enlightenment?" It's so good. I think it's called Siddhartha, or he plays Siddhartha, or it's based on the book Siddhartha. But it is a classic.
It's called Little Buddha.
Little Buddha. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, he looks incredible. But
Wait, who is that?
That's well, there. Where's Keanu? That's not
that
Keanu.
ain't Keanu.
That's Keanu.
Oh, did he have a prosthesis?
I don't know, but he's Keanu Reeves.
It's not his nose.
The Buddha is Keanu Reeves.
Whoa.
Yeah. They don't talk about that film a lot.
Yeah. Whoa.
There's the trailer.
Yeah, he looks so different.
I don't know what culture he's even appropriating.
Whoa,
but that's
man,
not him.
he looks like that lady that looks like Kevin.
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, he looks like Tilda Swinton. Thank you, Michael, for understanding my ridiculous statements.
So we get it. That's happened. But can we just let dwarves play dwarves? It's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
This is why I'm a stand-up comic, because in the world of stand-up comedy, is it completely fair? No, but in general, if you're funny, you will work. No one looks at a comic who's just absolutely killing it on stage, goes, yeah, but are they they're funny in a way that I don't like, so we can't book that. It's like, no, you're funny, you work. So this is why I like being a comedian. This is why I put my special on a platform like Veeps. So if you go to Veeps and you get my special called Starfish, that is available December 21st, the money doesn't go to a giant corporation. No, it goes to me and it goes to the Asian dwarf baby. Okay?
And the Maddens.
That's who it goes. And the Maddens. They get a chunk. But but they don't need it. They're fine with they're doing great. Good Charlotte showed a lot of records. But yes, so the vast majority of that money goes to me. So yeah, go to Veeps, support little people while Disney's trying to cut us out completely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I thought they were all like understanding and stuff.
Oh, you'd think.
Well, they tried to be too understanding, it seems.
That's the thing. They went like, because there's acceptance, there's whatever you want to call woke, but then there's too woke. It's like too far. It's like, and
Well, you can't say too woke because now you're being a Republican. Woke has been, the word has been turned into something else by old lame people.
I know.
Woke is when you understand things.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're a bitch.
Yeah.
Which is kind of turned into that.
Just
It's
means
like,
you're
It's
tolerant.
like, oh, you're woke. And I'm like, I'm not offended by that, man. Like, I understand what it's like to be in other people's shoes.
Yeah.
Like,
and
but now you
have
flipped it on me.
empathy.
And now I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a weakling and I'm terrified. Like, I'm not terrified, dude. I will snap your neck.
I wonder if
But I also understand what it's like to not be me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's what I thought it was. I don't
Yeah.
like how they've turned that into like a bad word.
Yeah, woke just means you have some empathy for people.
That's the real meaning of it. This
Yeah.
whole like
People say, hey, you've been doing this one thing, and I know you think that's the right thing, but it's offensive to the people that you're talking about, so if you could do something else, and you go, oh, sorry about that. Didn't know it was offensive. Sure, I'll do my best to change and be better in the future.
But I also
That's it.
understand these days, you get told a story, like, you don't understand a person's situation because you're not being told the real situation.
Right.
So it's like, if I have no empathy for a certain person because nobody educated me on what their real pain is, then how am I sympathetic when I don't think that you actually had a tough life?
Yeah.
It's like...
It's something I'm saying in my act right now. Right now, I'm trying to emphasize to people that just try to remember that your normal is not somebody else's normal.
No. Yeah.
You grew up with a normal, and that's great. That was your normal. But then someone else grew up with a different culture, different influences, different parents, consumed different media, and different traditions, and that's fine.
And I don't
It's
expect it to happen overnight. Like, I'm
No.
52, and I feel like I've said several inappropriate things over my life, and I will again.
Sure.
But even like a week ago, I realized something that somebody explained to me. I don't want to get into it, but I said something that was clueless and offensive if the person didn't know me really well, and then they explained their perspective, and I was like, holy shit, how dare I? And he was like, dude, I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But because you didn't know, because you haven't grown up that way. You don't know what it's like to really have nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I've had some tough times, but I never was starving. And I don't think people realize what it's like to be starving.
Yeah,
Like, not like one day I didn't have dinner. We're talking every day,
Every
my
day.
childhood till an adult, starving. I never got a shot.
Yeah.
And all my people around me never got a shot. Words out, we're not going to get a shot. Try that and then see how your attitude is at 7-Eleven when someone talks shit.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. So you not people that's starving, but like that you said something, that person said something to you, and you said, "Oh, cool," and then they said, "No big deal. I know your heart's in the right place
Because there was love in
that's
the
how it
room.
should be.
That's why.
Yeah, like so. People ask me all the time. They're like, "Oh, what should I call you? What's the terminology? Dwarf, midget, little person, whatever it is." And I said, well, in general, you don't say the word midget. Personally, I don't care, as long as the intention is good. And I tell this story. One time I was in Odessa, Texas, doing a show. There was a guy heckling during the show. He had to be thrown out. Rest of the show goes great. End of the night, I get paid. I'm going with the other opening act, and we're going to hop into a car. From the other side of the parking lot, you see lights turn on in a pickup truck, and this pickup truck starts racing towards us. And a guy leans out the window and yells out, "Kill the dwarf!"
Yeah.
And that's the guy that got kicked out.
Yeah, he doesn't have any issues.
Yeah, he's coming
waited
at
in
us.
the parking lot that whole time.
The whole time. And so sobered up and still was like, nah, this is still a good idea.
I feel sorry for that.
Yes, me too. And came at us. Thankfully, we got in the car. The other guy was driving. The opening act was driving, and he knew the trick of like going on a dirt road and like doing circles, and then like you jet out. I didn't know that trick until he showed me, and it was a great trick. It worked. We got away. But that guy yelled out, "Kill the dwarf." So technically, he used the right
Yeah.
term. It wasn't the dwarf part that offended me.
No,
it was the kill
killing.
the.
That's fair.
Yeah. So like it to me, it's all about the intention. What were you trying to do? Were you trying to cause pain, or in your situation, was it coming from a place of love and there was like understanding in the room? So it's like you weren't trying to hurt somebody.
I have a lot of trans and non-binary friends, and every now and then, because I'm still such a cis male meathead, I will say, you know, she knows what she's talking. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And that person knows me.
Yeah.
So they don't go, really?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that has happened before, and it's like, hey, you know that's not I didn't do that to be mean.
No.
I did that because I'm uneducated and it's new to me.
Yeah.
And I think when people understand each other or have some room for error, then there's no harm, no foul. Like it happened to me yesterday. I had a photographer here who is non-binary, and they didn't. And I said she one time. All the other times, they them all the time. But one time in the haste of a conversation, and I went oh, and they didn't say they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they care or not, but they know that what I'm saying was not.
You're trying.
Yeah, that's all.
You're making an effort, and that's
all
that's
love.
and that's something I think that a lot of people should make that effort to be. Is just, hey, are you making an effort?
Yes.
Great.
It's hard. We're instinctually, when we're proven to be wrong, it's hard to not want to say something back. It's kind of it's in there. I don't know if it's the way we were raised. Or I really just believe it's human nature that when you go, hey, that's not right, and you're having a short day, you're a bit quick to go, and you go, oh, well, hey man, I didn't really. You've already lost. If you can be like, oh, I didn't know how can I do this better. There's no one's gonna bark at that. Like if I go, oh, I didn't know, I honestly didn't know.
Yeah.
How can I correct that?
Yeah.
They're gonna go. If that person goes, no, still fuck you. Well, then
Now it's too far.
now it's them.
Yeah. There's a phrase I heard for that recently that I think is really helpful. It's toxic activism. And it is a part of the
toxic activism.
And it is a part of the problem that we don't talk about enough. There are the people who are intolerant or angry, and then there are the people who are woke, which is to say open to new ideas. But then there are the people who get off so much on finding out Disney has made some perceived faux pas in casting that they go buck wild online. And it's so counterproductive to the people who are actually trying to just. If you're leading with love, we'll get there. It'll be a meandering path, but we'll get there eventually. But the toxic activists are a big part of the problem at this point as well.
I love that because so when that movie came out with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston, I forget what it's called, but Bryan Cranston plays a paraplegic, and he's a rich paraplegic that hires Kevin Hart. I don't know. I actually saw it. It was a good movie, but. There was that toxic activism that you talk about because there was people going out like, well, why didn't they get a quadriplegic person to play that person, and why'd they have to get Bryan Cranston? Oh, why'd they get one of the best actors in the world? To act?
Well, it's the same as the guy that I brought up.
What's that one?
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. He's literally he's one of the best actors in the world.
And the movie is it's around him.
Yeah.
So he's the whole movie.
Yeah.
So if you got a guy that isn't, I mean, no one's his level of acting.
Yeah.
But if you got a guy that was like, well, look, man, my stuff doesn't actually work. I don't know how to act, but I really am in this chair. So action, like that would that movie work?
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. So come on, man.
Why didn't they get Bret Hart instead of Mickey Rourke for the wrestler?
He's an actual wrestler.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, Mickey Rourke is a good actor.
Yeah.
And his face looks like he's taking some punches.
Oh my God.
And that was a good point because he made wrestling look good. He made you realize that it's a tough thing to be involved in. And is it real? No, but is the life tough? And is it real work? Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I think Daniel Day-Lewis did the same thing with that movie where it was like, you don't know what it's like to be like this. And I think he told the story well. I don't know. I'm not in a chair, but I felt like I didn't feel like anybody. I didn't think he would made it a lie.
Yeah.
I think he did it justice.
All of them did it justice. I'll say this right now. Gary Oldman in Tiptoes did not do it justice.
Right.
What? It's streaming on Amazon Prime.
It still exists.
Go and watch Tiptoes.
I'm still waiting for the director's cut. They chopped an hour out of that movie. They fired the director and chopped an hour out.
3 different podcasts on this movie. I could talk about this movie for years. But yes, they switched directors like midway through, and then the original director has come out and said like, oh well, my cut was a lot better. I'm like, I want to see that one.
Dinklage says the same thing. I'm just like, you can't have an hour and a half of steaming garbage that hot. There's no, and the other hour could have been The Godfather 2. And it would not salvage.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
it can't happen.
Rocky 4 was pretty good, but then the Rocky 4 director's cut was better. But I think you're okay if you watch the one that wasn't the director's cut. You get the point.
Hey, as long as you get Hearts on Fire and he's training in the snow, it's a win.
No, there's some dressage at the start that they cut out. The director's cut puts in a lot of
horse dancing
because Stallone does his own dressage.
Yes, he does.
And
I found this out in the documentary.
And obviously the movie they cut it out, and obviously Sly wanted that in there because like not only could I do that, but I could do dressage. You know, like
I'll do dressage.
yeah, he did a good job. But it also
What a great story for Rocky to be too rich because he's like doing dressage.
There was a confusing thing with like whose daughter is it and who is the lady that lives with Sly? Sorry, with Rambo.
Yeah.
But the director's cut, they cover that a little more, so you go, oh, okay, no relation. But at first, it's like, why is Sly like not into his wife? It's like, wait, and if she's a nanny and he's broke, how does that work?
Yeah.
And then, wait, is she related to the nanny? Because of the one without the director's cut, it's just three people living in a house that are not affiliated, but they really love each other. And it's just like, what is going on?
Didn't they cut out the robot though?
Oh, you're talking about, wait, you're going to Rocky, dude.
5. That's
No,
Rocky.
that's Rocky 4.
I'm talking about Rambo. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah,
So
we
Rambo.
switched to Rambo.
Wait, Rambo does dressage?
Yes, dude.
No.
Yes,
No.
dude. Yeah, full dressage.
Like ties on the headband and then makes the
He
horse.
doesn't
dance?
wear that pussy stuff, that woke stuff. Sorry, he wears he's got like a flannel because that's the other thing. Rambo, I mean, has had to be Rocky a few times and also some other guys that were cool. Then he may or may not have done some steroids and he may or may not have got a bit of a belly and. Remember, Rambo was like jacked, but like really thin.
Yeah.
Like he was shredded.
Yes.
It's pretty hard to be shredded when you're like 70.
Yeah.
So he's still big in the arms and in the chest, but his gut is wants to beat the titties. So he goes flannel. You know what I mean? So he goes flannel and he makes the chest make it look like he's got no gut. But if you're
flannel is an excellent cover.
Yeah, that was
No,
what
it
Motley
didn't
Crue
fool
did.
me.
That's what Motley Crue did in '91 too.
yeah, also did not fool me.
If you know the tricks. I just love the fact that Sylvester Stallone, one of the toughest in terms of stereotypical action stars in history, really broke the mold and reestablished it. That guy's really into horses, man. He loves them.
It's a rich thing.
But didn't you say he was raised playing polo?
Polo, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but here's the thing where he goes, because I watched his documentary
Same.
recently about his life,
Yeah.
and he won't stop forcing how poor he was, and he's like, when I was a kid, we were so poor that my dad used to buy cheap horses, and I'm like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm not. I didn't grow up rich, but I didn't like. When I got a friend that's like, I grew up. You know what I mean? But there's water in my cereal when I was a kid because we couldn't afford milk.
Yeah.
When my friend watches you go, we grew up with nothing. My dad bought horses for $25. You're not. We're not sympathetic to you, dude.
Nope. No.
And then you're saying that you and your dad used to play polo, but then he does have an angle. Like, I guess he played a polo match after he became a he became a superstar, and he had a polo match, and his father was there playing, and his father knocked him off his horse, legitimately tried to bodied him in this game. And that it kind of, and then I also, when he wrote Rocky, I don't know if you guys know this, but his father wrote his own version of it.
The real Rocky.
And tried to pitch it around the same time as this to say, my son's version is okay, but you should probably get a load of this one. and just, being everyone's had a dad, I hope, or can understand the dynamic of it, to be you're dedicating your whole life to this craft, and your dad goes, "Look at my version, you dickhead," and starts telling everybody, it's gonna trigger you.
I'm so glad my dad never tried comedy. Like once I started getting into it, he was like, I'll show you how to do it. No, he never tried comedy, and I never tried being a lawyer. So we're good.
Yeah. Got to know your lane.
Yeah, exactly. It's also so mind-boggling to me because like my daughter is almost 4 now, and like whatever she's into. I'm not gonna try to do it. Like I'm just gonna be like, cool. That's your thing.
I think for most parents that comes fairly naturally.
But if she wants to do comedy, I'm not gonna be like, well, sure, she's not gonna be better than me. I hope she is. It'd be great.
My son skates, snowboards, and now he's a boxer. And he trains with the guys that I train with.
Yeah.
I just want him to be good at it. I don't like if he gets better than me, it'll be the proudest day of my life.
Yeah.
Not, well, that was a lucky shot. Like,
no,
it's more like, go for it.
Yeah.
It's a weird. I also feel like that is a part of Sly's motivation.
Sure.
Like I think sometimes bad things work out in good ways.
Yeah.
Even though I think like if he could have it where his dad wasn't a dick and he wasn't a millionaire known for being the greatest action hero of our time,
right.
he'd probably take that deal.
Right.
But the payoff is my dad was such a dick that even when I'm 75, I'm still determined to be this grand thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly, the ghost of him I'm showing now.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to beat him even when he's gone. I'm going to still try to shine.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you
made a great life for his family, hopefully they seem good.
They seem all right.
The girls are in movies and they've got a podcast with their dad. And I think the main loser in this is Mrs. Sly. Because Mrs. Sly.
They got back together.
Yeah, but he covered her face with a horse's head or something.
I think it was his dog.
Dog tattoo. Yeah.
Dude.
Had a tattoo of you, and then I covered it with the dog.
Yeah.
Which
I did that with my first girlfriend, but it was a wolf, and it just fit. I wasn't saying she was a dog,
right?
But I remember she told people, she's like, he covered my name with a dog. I'm like, it was a wolf. It was just a really bad tattoo. Yeah,
that's something more extreme. I don't know if I don't have any tattoos. My wife has a couple. If she got my face tattooed on her, I'd be like, well, that's a dumb decision. But if she covered it with our dog, I'd be like, great decision.
You know the dumbest tattoo I've seen lately?
Oh, please tell me.
Matt Rife. I know everyone's like,
no, I was hanging out with him
I'm not going there with the
2
comedy.
nights ago.
I'm just going with he brought up in the special. He's like, look at this new John Lennon tattoo that I got, and it's the size of a penny on the back of his arm. And if you're a tattoo guy, I can't take you serious. Like you're like, look at this, and I'm like, what is that?
That's the size of the heart on your face.
It's like kind of the same size, and I'm like, I get it. Like he did do a lot of stuff, but he also like punched women and stuff. Like he's not the coolest dude in the world.
In the joke, didn't do it in real life.
No, John Lennon hit.
Oh, John Lennon. I thought you were talking about Matt Rife.
No.
Oh, Jesus. I was like,
you keep wanting to bring the joke up. I'm okay. I'm not. I wasn't triggered. Relax.
Okay.
I'm more about. Did you know John Lennon was a piece of shit?
Oh, okay. Whenever John Lennon gets brought up, I have to bring up a clip which I hope you can get or you have to watch. It's one of my favorite clips. It's John Lennon goes on a talk show and he gets to play with Chuck Berry, and Chuck Berry is John Lennon's hero. And
Chuck Berry's a dick for sure, right?
No.
He's nice.
He's nice.
Okay, because I've heard other things about Chuck Berry.
Yes, you could say a lot about Chuck Berry.
Yeah. Also, not getting his face tattooed on me.
So they're on this late night talk show, and
This is it?
Yes, and they're playing together, and at some point, Yoko Ono is there and goes, "Oh, you know what? Chuck Berry and John Lennon are playing. I could add something to this."
Dude, she's got
and
balls.
she goes to a microphone and she just goes, "Ah!" and she starts singing that. Literally, I'm
Not
doing
singing.
a pretty damn
She's
good
not
impression.
singing, dude.
Yeah, she's just going, "Ah!"
Yeah, it's one of her things.
Yeah, and you see Chuck Berry give her a look like, "Someone gonna shoot her? Like, please, someone shoot her." And if we could find this guy retroactively, whoever was running the sound for that
They
show,
switched it off.
They potted her down.
I've seen documentaries where Paul
done.
McCartney is just like, you know, we've all had wives and girlfriends. They can be in the studio outside, but like coming in the actual recording room, that's a no-no. Not only would she walk in, but I mean, did you and I were in a band together?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if one of our girlfriends or wives was just like, and you're like, wait, nobody discussed this. We're recording right now.
Yeah,
and you and I were in a
yeah.
band that's like insignificant. Imagine if you were a hit maker.
You're the Beatles.
And this person just no powwow beforehand or
Yeah.
like, wow, that weird noise you make. Bring it on the mic. No one had that discussion. You just decided that you were going to do that with the other people in the
You're
room.
Paul McCartney. You're like, I wrote yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
For God's sakes.
I was in a Beatles class in college, and apparently a lot of colleges have it because people are just so obsessed with the Beatles. And he was like, any professor that's talking about the Beatles will say Yoko Ono sucks. And he showed this clip as like proof that she sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, she sucks.
Yeah.
She ruined the Beatles.
Yeah.
We would have got like another album out of them, I reckon.
at least one.
Maybe they never would have stopped.
Can you? Can you get sound on this clip?
I don't
All
know
right,
if we're gonna have a copyright issue with sharing this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you might just take our word for it.
Yeah.
You know what? Do what you're gonna do when you go. Don't pause. This is the end of the show.
Yeah.
Go check it out after this. Also, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/EllisMate. Make sure you check out this
Starfish?
Yes.
Starfish on Veeps, and go to veeps.com/Brad Williams. Get the special. It's called Starfish. I'm really proud of it. It's good. I like the stuff. I was there. It got a lot of laughs. And if you want to see me on tour, go to bradwilliamscomedy.com. I'm going on a 70 city tour.
Whoa.
In 2024. That's just what's announced. More are coming. Different countries.
Wow.
They haven't
for
been
you,
announced
man.
yet. Yeah.
What's the city you are least excited to go to?
Ooh.
Is that a?
I don't.
Should
Okay,
he
so there's some cities that I've just never been to that I'm like, well, this can't be good.
That's-
But I don't know.
Be
but-
surprised.
so, yeah, because that's the thing.
I
So-
remember someone. I only went on the road one time, and they said,
Yeah.
"Where do you want to go?" And he showed me his dates, and I was like, "Appleton, Wisconsin sounds like the worst place ever. I want to go." Turns
Yeah.
out,
it's great. I love Appleton.
it actually was I felt like the shows were awesome.
Yeah, I love Appleton.
And I had cheese curds, and
Yeah.
I was really high, and they're deep fried cheese balls, and they're very tasty. They came out of my butt like 15 minutes later, still in deep fried cheese ball form.
Yep, that is very true.
I could have sold them again.
So there's one date on the tour, and we've sold the tickets. We actually sold out a show, and then we added a second one. Terre Haute, Indiana.
Ooh,
yeah.
what a
I
hoot that is!
Don't know that city, and that just sounds like a city that's not going to be a great time. But I have a feeling those people are going to be awesome.
Yep.
Like, because I like
They're
going to those
dying for some
cities.
fun.
Yeah, I like going to those cities that like. Yeah, you go to LA. Yeah, we're building another arena for the Clippers that's going to have even more concerts. It's like every night you can go see a major sporting event, a major concert. So, a comedian like me in LA playing the Ace Hotel at the theater at the Ace Hotel in February. That's
awesome.
Maybe you might not go, but like there's a lot of competition and people
Playing
are
at the
jaded
Ace
with all the
Hotel?
stuff going on. Yeah.
Badass. dude.
Yeah, man, it's going to be cool.
Man, you're on fire.
Thank you, sir.
Why'd you do this show?
Because you guys have a large audience.
Okay, thanks.
And they're cool.
Yeah.
They like I know the kind of people that listen to your show.
You're kicking ass.
I like this show.
Good for you, dude.
And so yeah, like, but then you go to Terre Haute, Indiana. I don't even think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's probably Haute.
Terre Haute.
Yeah, Terre Haute. Terre Haute, Indiana. They're like, holy shit, you came here. I'm like, yes, I will. I'll do 2 shows in Terre Haute, Indiana.
Look, a real life person.
Yeah,
That sounds
not from
cool.
Terre Haute. It's awesome,
Thanks for being
man.
on the show, dude.
Dude.
Best of luck. Not that you need it. You're on fire.
Nah,
That sounds like such a cool thing you're doing right now. 70 different shows.
Yeah,
That's like, come on, man. I'm trying to be a comedian. The day someone tells me you've got 70 shows, that's the day I say I made it.
yes. Oh no, all I wanted to do when I started doing comedy, I said if I could just pay my bills
Yeah.
and be a headlining touring comedian, That's all I need.
That's me
now
too.
the fact that we're selling out shows, we're adding shows, we're doing theaters,
Hell
we're
yeah,
doing
man.
big tours, multiple countries. You guys, your fans, they've bought me a lovely house.
for you, man.
Because it's a house paid for in jokes. So thank you for that, and I'm just gonna keep it up because if you're paying for my mortgage, I feel like I can make you laugh.
Yeah.
So
Good
please
stuff.
please watch new special Starfish on Veeps. I would really appreciate it, and thank you guys for having me.
See you next week, guys. Don't die.